In my coaching practice over the last 10 years, helping people build muscle and lose weight, I've found that most guys know exactly what to do. If anything, there's too many tactics, too many biohacks, and too many nutrition plans out there. It's actually sticking to something long enough to see real transformation where most guys get hung up. So in this video, I want to share with you a 3-part foundation for creating lasting change with your health and fitness. Part 1 begins with what you want to accomplish. A very common goal that I get is I want to lose 30 pounds. So it's really important to have this clear goal to start with. You need this straightforward, tactical goal. I want to lose 30 pounds. But that's only the very first part. The second part of this is I want you to think about the conditions of that goal. What has to be true for you if you lost 30 pounds? 3 examples that come to mind. I'd probably hang out with very fit friends. I'd probably go to the gym that's really nice down the street, and I'd look forward to it. I'd probably delete the fast food delivery apps on my phone because I'm eating a lot healthier and more home-cooked meals. If you identify these conditions for success, you can begin to see where you need to close the gap to get to that 30-pound goal and do it with a lot more clarity. But the third part of this foundation is to create your vivid vision. This is the exact details of you at your ideal weight with 30 pounds released. What clothes are you fitting into when you try on those jeans at the store? What do you see on the tag? What is that exact digital scale readout that you look at when you step on the scale in the morning? How does that sport coat fit when you walk into your next meeting and you fill it out in all the right ways, exactly the way you want to? You have to see yourself on the beach at that next vacation, 30 pounds released. And how do you feel? How do you feel in your board shorts? How do you feel walking through the sand? You can even imagine someone close to you coming up and saying, "Wow, you look great. What have you been doing?" The more details you can add to this vivid vision, the better. So part 1 for the transformation, you have to think about that goal. You have to think about conditions for that goal, and then you have to get extreme clarity with that vivid vision of where you're going. Part 2 of creating lasting change is you have to start paying attention to the voice in your head. Whenever clients slip up, the first thing I ask them, what was the self-talk in that moment? You have to create awareness around that voice in the head. You have to pause, notice what it's saying, and start to react differently. Let's say you've eaten well all day, and then that voice in your head says you need to eat a donut. You see the donut in front of you, you feel that pull to eat it. You have to pause. You have to start saying, I see that you want me to eat that donut. You're afraid I might not get another one, but that's okay. I'm doing good just how I am. I'm on track with my health goals. You can pause and you can say, yes, that donut would be delicious. But every time I say no to this donut, I'm actually voting yes to my health goals, that 30 pounds released. Or you see that donut and the voice in the head says you should eat it. You can pause and say, yes, I see you're scared that I might be too strict on my eating and ultimately give up and fail. But that's okay. I know where I'm going. I know why I'm going there. And I'm going to be just fine without this donut. So you start paying attention to that voice in your head and you start reacting to it differently. But the second rule of this part is that you only get 90 seconds to live in a downward spiral. See, it's not a matter of if you fall off the wagon with your eating plan. It's a matter of when, and how quickly you get back to it is going to make all the difference between this being another attempt that you fail at or this being ultimate success and never looking back with those 30 pounds released. So when you make that slip up and you feel like beating yourself up, you feel like living in that negative spiral, a lot of people can take this 2-3 days or more, or even ruin an entire week. And then by then, they've already given up and said, I'll try again next year. If you can give yourself 90 seconds to fully feel the negative feelings, to fully say, I could have done better, I wish I would have done differently, and then snap out of it after that 90 seconds, it's going to be the key to moving forward and doing so quickly. Because that negative spiral doesn't serve us. It doesn't help us make a new positive choice at the very next meal, and we're not accomplishing anything by doing it. Once that 90 seconds is up, then I want you to focus on some gratitude, focus on your breath, one breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can focus on some self-talk, saying, I'm going to do better at my next meal. And that's really what it's all about, is focusing on making a recovery at the very next meal or the very next thing that you eat. And the third part of this voice in your head piece is to pay attention to the story you're telling yourself. If you have a story that I'm too busy, I'm never going to make it to the gym today, we have to flip that and say, I make the time to go to the gym. I'm going to put it in my calendar and I'm going to treat it like a business meeting with myself. You can begin to listen to that voice and story in your head saying, you've worked hard all week. It's okay. You deserve this. Do whatever you want tonight and eat the pizza and ice cream. You can flip that story and you could say, I deserve to reach my health goals. Therefore, I'm going to eat 2 slices of pizza and I'm going to pair it with a green salad. A lot of the times that story is like, I can't believe it's taking me so long to reach my health goals. I keep slipping up. I wonder if I'm ever going to accomplish my goals. And you can choose to flip that story, tell yourself a new one. Day by day, I am getting better and better. Each day, I'm focusing on actions that change my trajectory and move me closer to my health goals day by day. What I want you to take away from part 2 and the voice in your head is that there are no such thing as mistakes. There's only learning. It's about cultivating a follow-through mindset that says, I'm doing this once and for all. I've decided this is the year I lose 30 pounds. And the only way that you can fail at this is if you give up. Part 3 of lasting transformation is to develop your daily operating standards. Tony Robbins has an excellent quote that says, we don't get our goals, we get our standards. These are your operating principles that no matter what happens, you live by these each day. These are what are going to drive your 30 pounds of weight loss and keep you there long term. Some of the daily standards that I have for myself and many clients that you can use are the following. I get 7 hours of sleep a night. I drink 12 cups of water per day. I start each and every meal with lean protein. I have veggies in 2 meals per day, 2 cups worth in each of those 2 meals. You can add things for workouts to this too. Every single week, I do 4 weights days and 2 cardio sessions. Whatever your standards are, or even if you have a tough day on some of the food choices and you have a few more indulgences than you wanted, these standards keep you moving forward regardless of what's happening. These standards are the 20% that are going to drive 80% of your results. So define your daily standards and live by them. Put them somewhere you see them every single day. Once you have your goal and you create that vivid vision, you start to pay attention to the voice in your head and tell yourself a new story, one that's empowering and one that's going to move you closer to your goals. And you develop rock solid daily standards for your health, fitness, and body composition. That is what's going to get you to the 30 pounds released, and it's going to help you stay there long term. If you like this video, hit subscribe. Let me know in the comments below which of these you need to focus on, and I'll see you in the next one.